the awesome Schwantz 27, and as well as Drinks Glue. Welcome,
Hello.
everybody. And
Welcome on.
we go ahead. Sorry.
Welcome on in, everybody. Tonight we got the cream of the crop. We got a sync race between three of our very talented Mega Elixir players. First and foremost, we have Falcon Hit, who is in first place with two first place finishes and 18 points in the Mega Elixir pool. Chasing him, we have Zelfer, who is tied for third place with 6 points. And last but definitely not least, we have Boo coming along for the ride with 2 points. He is currently tied for ninth place in Mega Elixir. And ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real treat tonight. In our Worlds Collide community, these are the best of the best. These are the Kobe Bryants. These are the Michael Jordans. These are the Yao Mings of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, this is what we all aspire to get our game knowledge up to in our routing, and I'm very excited to see this because I've only ever seen restreams of Falcon Hit, never seen him run live. And I know you've commentated on a lot of his runs, Glue. Well, what do you think we're going to see tonight? Any off the wall strategies?
No, I don't think you're gonna see anything off the wall. If we see anything, out of the box on anybody, it would be Boo as a catch-up mechanism. I think what you're gonna see tonight is solid running, solid routing. You're not gonna see any burning houses, nothing trying to, go out of the logic, out of your way to catch an advantage. These runners know the fastest way through a seed. The routing is down. They got the routing down to a science. Their offense is on point. You're just gonna see straight excellence tonight.
I am super excited. Are you hoping for any specific character starts?
I am hoping for Magimaster early and often.
Oh, of course you would, right?
Yeah, always Magimaster early, always Magimaster often, and and obviously, like everybody, I'm a big fan of Yumaro. There's nothing I love more than a good Yumaro right at the start.
I used to never touch Umaro at all, but now I've started to hope I start with Umaro, and I've been taking on the Final Captain quite often.
Yeah, well, yeah, it makes sense. You wouldn't touch him very much. He doesn't like to be pet. But he does have some of the best stats in the game. Some of the best bigger stat. But you can't put an Esper on him to pump it up. But Yumaro is actually my favorite character to start with. Again, most people in the chat feels that way. But he really opens up a lot of plays for you, such as the Coliseum. He's guaranteed early game offense with his body thrust. I wouldn't be opposed if we saw Yumaro start tonight.
Oh, I would love it, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Our runners are starting. Let's see
Yeah.
what we get, Glue.
Yeah, looks like we got a Strago start. A Strago, Gao, and a locked start.
Oh, and
Ooh.
I saw Magitech. Ooh boy.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Gao. We got a Magic Tech Gao with Quasar start. And a Strago with
Gotta
Throw.
love that.
Yeah. Underrated thing about Gao is with the Worlds Collide, he gets 2 chances at abilities. So that gives him 2 chances to be awesome, but also gives him 2 chances to be lame.
Yeah, and here he rolled really nice twice. If we find a Celis somewhere in this seed, and there's a hero ring. If we find 2 hero
That's
rings
double hero
and a
rings.
ribbon, wow! With a lock start, do you think anybody's gonna go for the curse shield play, Glue?
I think we'll know here in about 5 seconds. I think somebody's gonna in the water balance is gonna peek it.
And did you see that fixed ice and offering? Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think he picked the fixed ice, which if somebody could use it, that's a great start to the seed. And if they find Terry can come back for that offering later, if our party deems it with a lock, maybe we find a VK, and that offering could be solid offense already for endgame.
Yeah, so Boo and Falcon Hit both went to Water Balance Snarsh. There is an NPC in Water Balance Snarsh that allows you the ability, or allows you the ability to peek the Curse Shield. He will reveal to you what the number of battles it takes for the Curse Shield. Neither of them stop and talk to him, so we still don't know yet what's on that Curse Shield. That's a huge thing I like to do at the beginning.
Do you know where I always forget which NPC that is.
So if you look on Zelfer is going down from the Lone Wolf check. When you come out the item shop, he is directly to the left, and he stops in front of the furnace. That's about 5 paces to the left of the item shop. and he'll
Gotcha.
tell you, curse shields these days take this many battles to uncurse them, blah blah blah, and then he tells you the number of battle it takes.
Oh, and there's another ribbon inside the Returner's hideout. So I like to see the little bit of treasure looting. Try to get some power for the seed, get some money to in case we find something good in the shop. But
Yeah, and
before, go ahead.
no, and that's normal for anybody in a Worlds Collide seed, because you start off with characters' default equipment. So Strago's going to have I think a Mithril shield, and then a Mithril rod, and then some other crap you don't care about. So you do need to spike some chests to see if you can get better equipment from them. And if you can't get better equipment in chests, what you do is you accumulate money with every chest, and then you just turn that into inventory later on.
Yeah, very true. And it looks like it's a 10 on the shield. Oh, and Boo goes and takes the offering instead of the dice, which could be
Real,
really good if we go ahead.
I wouldn't say that. That's a shocking conclusion there. Boo is anti-fixed dice, if you may or not be aware of. That man despises fixed dice, like I despise having I floss my teeth, but my dad says I gotta do it, so I gotta do it.
And I mean, hey, if we find a wing edge, falchion, scimitar really early, that offering could come in real handy for the grind fights. You know, especially for burning house. As long as we don't go against any undead, right? Now real quick before we go any crazier into this seed,
Hmm.
for anybody at home who's just tuning in, who's never experienced this before, I just want to give you a little intro to Worlds Collide, and it's based on the Final Fantasy III SNES version of the Final Fantasy VI, Japanese numbering, and it's a fun little breakdown of all the nostalgic moments of the game, which you can find characters or espers, go through progressive gates or even open world, and you can relive the experience every time in a completely different way. And we even do a lot of fun things, like you have drafts or even Jexy's Mad Doc Labs, where the flags go all sorts of crazy, and you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Did
and
I
it
miss anything, Glue?
on Speed Gaming has quite a robust schedule of other randomizer games. Worlds Collide is the Final Fantasy VI version of that. You may have heard of Jets of Time. The Link to the Past randomizer for Enterprise Career Day. There's other fantastic randomizers out there, but Worlds Collide, in my opinion, hands down the best one to play.
Oh yeah, I mean I've watched a few myself, but this is the only one I've played, and just something about the game, the story, the characters, everything. It's such a pleasant experience every time. And we see Shote with Quick. Ooh, that's huge. Very nice find. What do you think, Glue? Early on,
Uh,
getting that quick?
I think that's quick. Will sit on his Strago with his throw. I do like this from Falcon Hit right here going into Phoenix Cave. Um, what Phoenix Cave is it's one of Locke's checks. Worlds Collide revolves around characters' checks, so it's a very condensed story scenario that revolves around a character that in Worlds Collide. You play through the you play through the gameplay part. You cut out all of the story aspects and cutscenes because you know what happens if you're on our stream tonight. You play Final Fantasy 6 before. You have a good idea of what happens. Kefka wins, but then he doesn't. So the Phoenix Cave is one of Locke's checks, and in your opening, if you can work progression into your looting phase, that is phenomenal. Um, that way, a lot of runners like 10 minutes is the cutoff for a lot of people, and if you can end up 3-2 after 10 minutes as opposed to 3-0, cut out the South Figueroa basement, that is ideal, and that's what Falcon Hit is doing here by going to Phoenix Cave with two characters. He's going to be able to get about 7 chests without having to go too far out of his way, and then obviously he gets the reward that's at the end of it. And two,
Yeah,
if by chance this is required, as in that the seed is forcing us to come here, as in progression is required here to advance, he'll be farther ahead of everybody else that doesn't come here.
very true. And me personally, I like to save the Phoenix Cave when I get 5 people, and because I like to take the dragon out. But coming here early is very beneficial because a lot of other people might not do so, and you could, like you said, find like the last location character that other people will get struggling finding, where you actually got it first and never experienced the last location hunt. So it's a great play, and he got rewarded too, finding a Minerva right there in the chest, not out of the path at all. So, oh, and then Boo finding a dragon horn, as well as Zelfer following the path, and Aegis sealed the cell. I mean, so it looks like our looting phase is probably going to be done in a second here.
Well, it's still very possible that Selfer and or Boo could come to the Phoenix camp after this. To be honest with you, after I went to if I had gone to start and go to Narsh, after I saw those 2 hero wings, with these quality of players and with the abilities I had, that may have been it for me. I may have skipped out returners. I may have skipped out all aspects of Figaro and just came straight here.
Very true.
Because if you look at the time, Falcon Hit's going to have this down to a science. He's going to do this at the least amount of time possible. There's going to be very few extra steps he takes. There's going to be very few extra animations that happens in his course of his run. And looks like we get an Esper at the end of the Phoenix Cave.
Let's hope. Yes, we do. Very nice. And it's a unicorn, which, you know, it's nothing to scoff at in Final Kefka if you accidentally get trained. Let's see if it has anything good. Strength 2 and Fire 2. And
that's,
Muddle.
That's very nice with Strago, because you can slap that on him all seed, and anything he throws now is really gonna start hurting real fast. Yeah. So it looks like we got a belt visit from Brew. He did find some dried meat, I believe, in the Water Balance South Figaro item shop.
And it's really good that he didn't take any grind fights yet, because now he gets the easy Lobos and he gets lucky on the first try. And now we have Realm and Strago together. Alright, I'm gonna say she has X magic, because that would just be amazing.
I want to say control.
You're gonna say control?
Yeah. We already got 3 very good abilities.
Now, also, I saw they both picked up a wing edge in the basement. Now, a great strategy here, too, is to whoever can equip that wing edge, you could throw that offering on. They do Velt, and you could make quick work of all the grind fights down here, even at level 3 with that.
Yeah, an offering on a wing edge down here is fantastic, because you still get you can still proc an instant death with the wing edge with an offering. Not every weapon you can. So it could possibly make this Serpent Trench really fast, as fast as you could hope for level 3 in the
now we just gotta cross fingers and hope there's not a bunch of undead down here, right? Or level magics.
Well, even if they're undead, that's why Boo has visited a couple item shops, so he'll have Reverberify in his inventory. Reverberify will take care of any undead monster with just a drop on their face.
And so now we have Falcon heading to the weapon shop. What do you think? He's going to take the fixed dice?
I think he's going to take the offering. And of course he takes the fixed dice.
And we got a nice fight here with the Boris and the Prussian, right? I think that's a Prussian? Yeah. That's a good experience. No, it's an Oris.
Yeah, so Realm has slots. That's another very good ability, at least for the early game. Slots will taper off later on, but to have this in the trench is very nice. To have all the
very true.
The trench right here is very well diverse.
Yeah, the only thing I never really liked about slots is how long it takes to get the animation sometimes.
Yeah, slots, especially Flush 7 Flush is pretty easy to get. You can get it about 80% of the time every time. The problem is you gotta add in the animation time for all the times you didn't get it and subtract, 20% of your damage, if you will, for all the times you're gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
You can maybe get it more, but I think I would get it about 80% of the time, right? And I've practiced it a little bit, so.
Luckily, Lego Morph does have some beneficial uses, right? Because it heals a lot of status ailments. So early on, that could help a lot rather than you using, let's say, 3 antidotes. You could just lag them real quick.
All right, so Falcon hit.
I think Go ahead.
Falcon Hit is done with his Narsh. I don't think he's found dried meat yet, so I it looks like he's gonna check the airship shop here. I probably wouldn't start going through things until I found dried meat.
There it is, and he
Yep.
found it right in the airship. Wow, look at that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, there are
And
5 possible item shops dried meat can appear in, and the airship does count as one of those. So
as Schwantz pointed out, nobody can use that fixed ice yet.
no,
So Boo is coming out on top. And this is a fight you never want to see. A double ninja, that could be really brutal. And Zelfer getting really lucky finding Realm really quick. Looks like Realm was very scared, did not want to spend her time on the Velglue.
no. Last time she was there, she was kidnapped by a bunch of wolves, and then they made her paint a painting for some reason. So I guess you want to get out of there.
Mandrake fight's always a great one. Our runners are definitely getting their levels up pretty quick here. So now, where do you think you would go next after the Serpent Trench glue?
Since you're in the area, well, you kind of travel away from the area because that's what the trench does. It takes you away from the belt, which is next to Thamasa. I'm probably going straight down to Esper Mountain as part of Realms checks. In Worlds Collide, you do need 6 characters in our Ultra Leagues flag set to advance to the end game, and you are statistically more inclined to find characters within your newer characters as they were placed there to fill out the seed, so that you can get death and get through all of the checks that are possible. So with that in mind, characters are more likely to appear in your newer characters. I would go straight to Esper Mountain. If there is a character there, I go straight into that character's most desirable check first. If there is no character there, then I go to Owser's Mansion.
Okay, so you would definitely prioritize getting the character ASAP, 5 and 6.
Always.
See, I definitely
So
like to prioritize getting 5 right off the bat, but I feel like I'm going to run into 6 while trying to find the rest of my espers, so I might as well wait to pick up the 6 until I'm getting closer to my requirements.
it,
Is that
I will,
logic track?
I will say it's a lot easier to accidentally go over looking for espers than it is looking for characters, because there are more possible. There are 0 checks where that it can only be a character or an item, but there are quite a few where it can be an esper or an item. So it's a little easier to go over on espers looking for characters than it is the reverse. If
Understood.
you keep that in mind, um, and just work towards your checks that are peakable and more likely to be espers or can only be espers. Um, you can still go over anything's obviously possible, and then not every check is peakable, and you can very easily run out of peakable checks. But statistically, you are more inclined to go over the reverse. So that's why I
And
like to get to. That's why in this scenario I would start with realms checks and then work my way back once I got the 6 characters back into Drago's peakable checks such as fanatics, and then lock stuff like the South Figaro Cave.
I see. Now, as Schwantz is pointing out, there is some difficulty going down the trench with these hard-hitting fights, and Boo doing neither what Glue and I thought, and taking the tunnel armor, right? This is the tunnel armor
Yeah,
encounter?
this is South Figaro Cave. I like this route because you need to heal up after you go through the Serpent Trench. You might as well slurp from the water here,
And you get it before and after the fight, so
Yep.
it is, and it's quick.
But yeah, that's where he is. He's in South Figaro Cave, which is one of Locke's checks.
And there's nothing wrong with this from a routing standpoint, just because you're geographically close, and you could sometimes you can make a case for blah blah blah. I have a new character, blah blah blah, statistics that. Sometimes a good answer, or an always good answer, is just whatever is close, as long as you go there with conviction.
Ex- Yeah, very true. You know, the
'Cause
less
really,
time you're flying in between locations, the better.
you can make the argument that you won't know if this is the right or wrong answer until 45 minutes from now when you know you did or didn't have to come. But looks like he's gonna get
Ooh.
Edgar, which is
He took out
very
Sword Tech
interesting.
Lord Gaw for, I mean, a Magitech Lord Gaw for a Sword Tech Edgar.
That's
That's
very interesting.
interesting.
And Gao has that Quasar too,
See,
so
I mean, you definitely don't want to get rid of, throw Strago, right?
no,
And
there's no way Struggle comes out here.
I didn't see Realm's magic power, but Realm can use the fixed dice though, right? So he doesn't have the fixed dice on Boo. So I'm wondering. We'll see if that decision pays off or not. And then Schwann's saying he would ditch Locke unless he knew about that Valiant Knife in Tomasa. So
I think he could be Gao. I mean, maybe Boo has in his mind that I may hit Edgar stuff underground and do a dragon. He hasn't done Phoenix Cave yet, so he's thinking I may do another dragon in Phoenix Cave. And Edgar has a very robust pool of the better items in the game that you can equip, such as Earl Lance, Lumina, Ragnarok, Atma Weapon, all of them except for Fixed Ice and Valiant Knife. So that could be why he's keeping him in the party, just in case he comes across a high tier sword. He has another user for it. If not, he can support.
indeed, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love Edgar. Like, Edgar is amazing. A lot of these characters are hard to choose from with the way their abilities are, and as Schwann's pointed out, like the second you see a Valiant Knife somewhere in the seed for Locke, you know you're keeping Locke in your party. Like it's just so much damage once you get halfway through the game. We do have a little rough fight here, though.
Yeah, Atman, unfortunately, Boo is sitting on a Pearl Rod. Fortunately, Boo is sitting on a Pearl Rod. Unfortunately, Atman likes to eat Pearl Rods. He's not very afraid of them because they will heal him as he absorbs the Pearl element.
Yeah,
So he's going to
now
have to tough this out.
If we had fought Atma Weapon, we'd have a different story, right?
Yes. The other
Sadly,
Atma.
it's Big Boy Atma.
Yeah, they're both kind of pushovers because they don't have very good stats. The problem is when you don't have a Fire 2 or Fire 3 to take advantage of that, you gotta eat some acid
Ooh.
rains and stand around and tickle them to death.
Oh boy. And Falconhead's about to take this same exact fight. Well, we'll see how it fares for him. I think they're both going to be severely disappointed here.
I
See
think one
now,
of them is gonna be bound to beat him.
see now, the reason why I asked about this specific check, right, is I like to wait until I'm towards the end of my requirements before I do any peekable checks. And that's probably more towards my Ironmog experience because I only have 2 peekable checks in Ironmog, and that's Realms, Esper Mountain, Shadows, Belt. So I always save those towards the end because they're the only 2 I can just walk away from. I don't have to commit to. So that might be just my experience there, but wouldn't you also want to apply that to Ultros League, where like you take the checks that you have to early on, that way you have all your requirements needing to be fulfilled, and then towards the end you save the ones that are quicker with peekables?
Yes and no. So if you look across your board, if you're Boo, you've done 2 of Gao's checks. You've done one of Block's checks in the excuse me. You've done one of Block's checks in the South Girl Cave. You've done the Nars Weapon Shop. Look across the board at what you have left. You have all of Strago's checks, which are awful. You never want to do unless you have to. Or you can go to Phoenix Cave. Or you can go to Kefket Nars, which is Kefket Nars for all intents and purposes is a Strago check. It's just awful. You don't want to do it. So with that in mind, oh my god, an experience egg
That
down
was
there.
an egg. Wow.
Beautiful.
And I don't know if you saw, but we had the same
Also-
outcome from both Atmas, Atomic Ray into Flash Rain.
Yeah, we
Just-
got
Oof.
some wipes, experiencing of Yamaro, exciting. We got a lot going on. But to follow up on your point, you typically would want to say peekable checks unless they're more desirable than what you have on the plate. There's no point in not doing it just because it's peekable, and then going to do the crappier, longer checks, and then saying, "Oh, I can maybe not do this later." It's faster just to do it than to do any of the other ones. So just by the spirit of, you may have to do this anyways, or you have to do something anyways. You may as well do what's faster.
Oh, and great game knowledge there by Boo, using the water edge to take out the Pluto armors quick, and Locke hitting, like we said, with the wing edge. Wow, making
Very
quick
nice
work of that fight. And they're both
Beautiful.
pretty much finishing up the fight around the same time. And like Falcon hit going here and taking out Flame Eater, getting some more levels under his belt before he goes back later and takes out Atma.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll eventually find out what Atma's hiding in Esper Mountain.
I do want to call out a cool thing that Boo is doing. Boo did not go to the South Figaro World of Balance with any guys Egger immediately, because there's no, if you're going to come down here and do all this, you kind of
there's no point running
bubble back.
Throne, right?
Yeah, so you can do it right here in between animations, or you can work it into this just in general and not go to the underground and still do 2 checks back to back, as opposed to do two different traveling situations. Or you can do all 3 together.
And we find Ifrit on the throne. Did we see what the tentacles were holding, Schwantz? I totally missed that.
It was Yamaro.
It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was Umaro in the engine room. Magic Power 2 and Fire 3. Oh, great Esper. We do see sleeping bags there half off. That's always a great pickup. Save you a lot of money throughout the seed.
Ooh, a red jacket in the other room.
Gotta love to see those red jackets. There's some warp stones down there. For a really cheap price too. You gotta love those cheap warp stones, huh?
Anything half price, I love to see. It was like Boo's going to go down into H Castle.
Falcon did not like the realm, and he took Egger in his party.
That's understandable. You're past the point where you've done Serpent Trench, so slots isn't going to be as useful. You have 2 amazing abilities in the Sword Tech, the Magic Tech, and the War already, plus Drago's Throw. There's no.
Indeed, I would.
There's a
probably
lot of
do the
options.
same exact thing if I was running this seed glue.
Yeah, there's a lot of options that are good and defensible. Nothing super bad or nothing that would be something that you would consider a mistake. So I don't think there's any wrong answer there in that.
Oh no, he said my bad. Locke is on the bench.
Today is Macho Man's birthday, by the way. If y'all didn't know, he would have been 71 today. Rest in peace, Macho Man. You're gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, I could never do his little. Oh yeah, not many people in the world can.
And out of respect, I will not try either. There is only one person that should be doing that, and
I remember when I was a kid growing up with his classic matches between the Ultimate Warrior. I wonder what we're gonna find down here. It's the Dirt Dragon. Oh boy.
Yeah, the Dirt Dragon's not too scary, except when he casts this one ability that makes the earth open and rips you to shreds. Other than that, he's a little tame. It just depends on how he's feeling today, if he's eating or not.
We'll see if he's feeling spicy or froggy.
Or maybe a little earthy. And that Shadow downstairs, that is 7 characters for Boo already.
I do like him picking it up before the dragon to increase the scaling a little bit more. If he's confident he could take the dragon out, that would give him a lot more experience from this battle glue. What do you think?
Yeah, plus you always take it. That way, if it's an Esper, you can peek it, and then you're fighting a dragon, and the dragon's gonna give you 50 ability points. So it's a great avenue to learn
all those spells.
Yeah,
I do love that. That is a great point, Glue. We do see a Genji glove, so that could come real handy later. Oh, and there's some Atlas armlets. Ooh, if no one else checks that shot, that'll put Falcon Hit at a huge vigor advantage, especially with Sword Tech Edgar.
Well, everybody did the treasure room in Narsh, and there was the 2 hero rings in there. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has. So everybody, I don't think we've come across earrings by anybody yet. So they're doubling as a magic support right now. Ooh, a pug. You don't want to see that in the first fight in the painting.
No, definitely not. Maybe if we had a steal, we could do a quick, quick steal before we ran away. Maybe get a lucky Minerva. But other than that, the fight's never worth taking. Alfred found earrings in the world of balance, Tomasa, Schwant said. And, you gotta love fighting the Dirt Dragon, though, because he does drop that Magus Rod, which could do a lot of work. And that's a second Genji glove now, so if we find a bunch of swords, we could have some amazing offense later.
Yeah, Boo does have Yumaro, and then a quick trip up to Waldero and Narsh. It's going to give him 3 fast checks, including a dragon, and then dragons are inclined to drop swords just because it's there's a lot of great options in the item pool for them to spit out.
Well, that brings up a great point, Glue, in that the new Ultra Sleek Season 5 flags did have a change to the high item pool drop rate, correct?
Yeah, so a lot of the items that were less desirable in the item pool for dead checks have been removed. So right now you only get the good stuff. And, well, marble shoes are good, but they're not great. But stuff like marble shoes, stuff like force armors and Genji shields can no longer be acquired. In the new Ultra Sleek settings, only the best of the best is a possible reward for a dead check, such as an Illumina, Ragnarok, Experience Egg, or a Valiant Knife. Or the ever reliable fixed dice.
Oh, and look at this, Glue.
Fantastic.
Awesome work by Boo. Gigantos was taking down the party and he used his game knowledge to try to get that instant kill on Gigantos. And it paid off very well for him. Yeah, Schwan said that our runner did check out Gal Manor. And it wasn't an Esper. I did not see what it was.
And no character here at Owzers for Falcon Hit.
But it is a merchant sprite, so we have some hope here.
We do have some hope, and it's Atma version 1, the less scarier one, although neither are really scary except Nurse for some reason.
Oh, and here goes that Pearl Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just going to attack with it.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, here comes that dreaded cockatrice. Oh, but it did not stone Edgar. Got extremely lucky.
I'm not sure what he's doing there.
The vanilla ice dragon. Oh no, and Realm got frozen just as she's about to cast the Fire 3. Alright, we're about to see Gal Manor item again. Let's check what it is. A force shield. Oh, you always hate to see that. Unless you run into Goddess, right? Then you can throw in that, or Maggie Master, throw in that force shield real quick.
Well, if force shield isn't something you want to see here, it's still the best non-elemental shield in the game. So, could be worse. Could have been, well, actually, it couldn't have been worse, I think. But, better than nothing.
We're about to see what the Owzer Owzer's Mansion reward is. And it's a Ragnarok. And then this was another update. to the 1.4 version is that the poison animation was reduced. So those who had a hard time seeing before could now easily navigate the world rather than having to memorize the maps and constantly run into walls.
So Falcon hit peak the auction house and glowing stones. It says stones, but in these flags it means one stone is available. I wonder if we can go back in there and do it.
You know, if you're already here, I do like one attempt at least,
No.
right? But I probably won't spend more than a minute at the auction house if I'm there, because I've gotten trolled too many times by it.
Well, I peaked his gold when he was menuing and only at 32k. You ideally want to go there with 90k. That gives you the, I won't elaborate because I don't remember at the top of my head because I haven't done the auction house in forever. But you basically want to go in there with 90k, and that gives you the fastest possible outcome to for sure get it out of there with an Esper.
Yeah, because then you can buy the 50k item if it comes up, the 10k item if it comes up, and then you still have the 20k for the Esper.
And we're gonna get a floating continent sighting here from Boo. Not a great first encounter to start with here. The downside to the floating continent is it takes quite a bit of time to navigate through the entire check. The plus side is that 2 out of the 3 checks are guaranteed progression. So I don't hate it here. You either want to go to the floating continent early or you want to go late. The problem with going early is it's a huge time commitment to get through some of the encounters to get to some of the bosses, and you can easily get walled by some of the tougher bosses. The cons to going here late is that you have to go really far through everything to get your progression, and it's going to be really awkward. Well, it'll be great because it gives him skip, but it's going to be really awkward from a time for running the race standpoint if he walks out of here with 2 more characters. While highly unlikely, it's not impossible. So if you're at 3 and 9 at 40-ish minutes, that's just it's just not a good feeling.
And we got our first sword. We found an Illumina at the Tritox spot, Glue.
Very nice.
And I completely feel you, because there's no saving. If you easily defeat the first boss, you get all hyped, and then you run into Maggie Master, and then you have to reset because you have no way to take him out, and you just lost all of that time. So it is great to go up there, especially for trying to uncurse the shield, get a bunch of battles out of the way, and it just always hits the gut if it's a boss that you can't beat. The same reason why Burning House can be a pain, right?
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Zelfer's going to find another character here at your Merle spot, and it is a very angry Terra. Although that does give him access to the offering he passed up and took his fixed dice for.
Yeah, which plus it adds a free check, and if they're going up to Kefka and Arsh Peak, it kind of makes sense to just do them both real quick, but you really only want to go up to Kefka and Arsh if you found Mog early on in the seed, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think we're a little late in the game to be doing the sealed gate unless we're trying to spike an Esper character real fast. I don't think we're too late where you could maybe do the treasure room. But because of the powerful abilities and some of the spells we come across, I don't think we're hurting for offense. But you never know. It's in my opinion the wrong move, but also in my opinion I like opening chests, so I may go there.
I do love opening chests. I mean, you are looking at probably a minute time commitment if you're just running down in there and you're really good at navigating, can open up all the chests. Now, on the other hand, you could also spend that minute just avoiding the treasure room altogether and just running right through Terra's check. Because to run through it, I think it only takes like 45 seconds outside of the bridge room, right?
Yeah, if you warp out, you can get from the airship. You can get from airship with your reward out if you use a warp stone. You save about 3 seconds. You can get in and out in about a minute and 25 seconds. But I'm a 37-year-old male, and I like my wife to get me Christmas presents. I open them on Christmas morning. And I enjoy that very much. There's no way I pass up the treasure room. So, I don't think anybody's going to be going there just because they're like me and they can't resist that urge. Pocket's going to get his Illumina here too from the Tritox spot, so that's fantastic for him. Bad news for Boo and Zelfer, but great news for him.
And Falconhead did find the experience egg in the basement. A lot later than he probably wished he did, but, better late than never, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like there is an item or esper at the Whelk Gate, and it's tunnel armor. Looks like he migrated through the mountains and found the wrong exit.
Yeah, all the tunnel, as you just saw there with this Drago doing a lot of damage on tunnel armor, all of the machines in this game are also weak to water, which makes sense if you go pour some water on your laptop or desktop or your phone that's watching the stream. Good things aren't going to happen. So, life imitating art there with that little tidbit.
And we got a Seraphim from the Whelk Gate.
Beautiful.
And I'm not sure if that was a natural magic Ultima or if maybe Ragnarok had Ultima.
Zelfer does have the Paladin shield, and he uncursed it during his trench visit and then well thereafter. So he may have learned it already.
And that was a dragon, so that was another 50 AP.
Oh, that is true.
And Schwanstein Ragnarok has speed +1. Oh, you hate to see the piranhas. I mean, easy fight. Gives you a breath of fresh air. You don't have to worry too much about this fight. It's just, are you going to get lucky with the timer or not?
I don't mind seeing piranhas here because this is the longest you can go in the game between save points and fighting a boss. So because you fight 3 random encounters, you stand around their ship, you fight an octopus that attacks you, and then you get pushed off, and then you fight this. So this is an even longer time that you have to commit. Walking through Kefka's tower or walking up Fanatic's tower and getting to the top of the boss to fight it. So
very true.
Seeing something here that you can for sure beat, it's not a bad feeling.
Oh, Zelfer is buying 2 VK, going offering Genji Octo VK, which is just going to be, insane damage.
Beautiful. Now, if he could just put it on Umaro, we'd all be happy.
Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Alright, we're about to see what happens right after Good Hold. Rizupas disappears from the sky. That flying fish.
Oh no!
It looks like it's my favorite gambling man, and he has GP raid. Look at that!
Beautiful.
I love the vanilla ability on him.
So bad news for Boo. He only has 3 espers at the 40-minute mark. The good news is he only needs 1 more character for skip. I do believe he has one. He's missing 1 character that Zelfer has that he doesn't, which is Shadow. Does he not? Boo not have Shadow? I can't see his tracker.
Well, Boo definitely has Shadow because he's on the floating continent.
That's a good point. There is 1 character out there that Boo can get. That is it within logic that's available to him right now. No, Gao is a starting character.
Yeah.
No, it's Terra at Umaro spot. That's what it was.
That's right.
Yeah. And then it's because of the convenience of it. There's a good chance that Boo ends up going up to the Umaro spot and getting his skip. The bad news is, hopefully along the way you get some more espers because there's 0 espers up at the Water Ruin Narsh. So.
And Falcon finding Katana Soul, which is interesting because now I think that's his 2nd offering, right? Or no,
he took the fixed dice, but he's about to see right now with Terra at Umaro spot that there's another offering if he wants it.
Yeah, which is really interesting. Offerings galore in this seed.
Yeah, there's definitely been no shortage of offense. The only thing there's been a shortage of is quick and easy espers.
And the Fenrir at Esper Mountain finally learned, and it's Ice 3 too. Wow, and Speed 1 with the 3 Stooges hiding at Atmo Weapon spot. We just saw Atmo Weapon go down. I think they're here to take vengeance, but it's probably not going to happen. The party's way too strong. What do you think?
Yeah, there's only 3 or 4 bosses now that we've had a chance to get our feet underneath us. So running into things like Atma anymore isn't actually going to be scarier things are going to be Magic Master, the Doomgaze, and possibly a Poltergeist in a 1v1 scenario.
Oof. Boo taking out Larry early, but he couldn't take out. What? It's Mo in time, right?
Yeah. He will cast Last 2 on his fallen friends, but you can Runic that life too, which is a cool thing to do. Shut him up a little bit, I guess.
You know, I never thought about doing that. That's a great tip, Blue.
The problem is he'll in his script he'll turn around and cast it again on his next turn.
Yeah, so you have one more turn to do it.
Yeah.
At least give you some time if you're close to damage, like they were right there. I do like Falconhead going and taking out Atma now.
Well, obviously it's a quick check. He knows it's not a character, that it's either an Esper or item. And two, you got to get your revenge.
Very true. And now he has all the utility to do so with those 3 spells. That Hooded Floating Continent too hurts. But you know, at least it's one of the better headgears in the game. Even if you don't need the gold.
It's the best headgear in the game, hands down. Nothing is better. It cuts off half of the damage for various elemental spells. Has a cool name. Goes on a cool character. Plus, it gives you all the gold you could ever need.
And finding spicy chicken. Oh no.
Oh yeah, look at that offering go though.
And I mean, that was a really poor choice by Spicy Chicken to shoot Locke with a missile. Oh no. Oh no. Boo's gonna learn the hard way that Humpties are undead and they're all gonna come back to life.
That's alright, once you learn once, you'll never forget it.
Yeah, launcher into an Octo offering is never a smart idea.
And are we gonna get a treasure room setting here from Falconhead? Is he gonna resist? Oh no, he cannot resist the urge.
He can't do it. I mean, you said it yourself, Glue. You love opening presents, right? And this is just
yes, indeed.
Such a treat.
At the Ebbett's Rock was an Illumina for his trouble taking on that Poltergeist, which I'm not super mad about because he has multiple Genji gloves, multiple offerings, and 2 characters that could beast with that a second Illumina now. So I'm not super mad about it. Maybe when I see the time and I didn't win the race, I'd be mad. But in the moment, I feel pretty good.
And Falconhead might have been rewarded there because there was a pair of earrings, a hyper wrist, and a gold hairpin. And there we did see Ultima on another Esper. So on top of the Paladin Shield, you put both on somebody, they can learn it ×2 now instead of ×1. And that could be a real option.
So here's a fun fact about Tritalk for the vanilla game. Tritalk is the only boss where you can deal 3 damage to him, and you feel okay about it. The reason for that is, in the vanilla Final Fantasy VI, Tritalk has 30,000 HP, and you may be aware of this, you may not be aware of this, but there's a 9,999 damage cap, and you can't squeeze that much, you can't surpass 30,000 with 3 9,999 attacks, so Tritalk has pretty weak magic power, so in normal speedruns, Fire 2 with any character with decent magic is going to do quad 9s, but you're not opposed to if you have one character just attack for a little bit of a time save to do an extra 3 damage to get him over the hump, and little tidbit there for you, Sonic.
I never knew that.
Yeah, have you ever watched a speedrunner and you see somebody take on Tritalk and they have their Mog with the Moogle Charm just swing a gold lance to do 4 damage at them? That's why.
It makes sense. It totally makes sense. Well, thank you for that, Cyclor. And Arusa, to give you a little bit more explanation, this is the highest level of competition in Ultros League. You know, and Falcon Hit is one of the best runners of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. And he won the first two, excuse me, he won the first two races with first place, standing at 18 points. We had two runners finish the race this week at a time of 128 and 135, and we even had one forfeit. Not sure what caused the forfeit, but it means this seed is not too very kind. So we'll see what these three runners can do with it.
Yeah, the offense has been very kind because we're absolutely loaded, but you can tell by our Esper counts from our characters, or from our runners, that the Espers...
They are hiding.
Yes, they are not readily available, which can cause some of the higher times that what you're seeing. For this offense, with a little bit of Esper luck, it would not be out of the realm of possibilities for all three of these runners to be heading in the Kefka's Tower, if not with the unlock already. But because of some of the poor routing logic, that is not poor out of their control, or it's just out of their control. You just haven't been worded with the correct number of Espers to get there. So the checks are on point. The time through the checks that we've done is very good. We just haven't been we've just been a little unlucky.
Oh yeah, I mean look at Falcon Hit. Even though he was behind, now he's at 7 and 8. He's running into Dome of Dream. He's gonna unlock all the sword techs. Falcon Hit's at 15 checks right now. Zelfer's at 18. Boo's also at 15. So they're closing in real fast. So this is gonna put Falcon Hit at 18 checks after this.
Yeah, the scary thing is this could be two Espers and a character for Falcon Hit, and this gives him his requirements and a skip. Whereas Zelfer is at 18 checks and he needs 3 more Espers, so he has to do 3 more checks no matter what.
This will put Falcon Hit at 18. He'll still need to do 3 more, but that means he could just go kill some dragons and be done with it.
If he gets a character at the in-between spot here in the trend carts, we'll see a sprite. If that sprite is a character, that means he's getting his 9th character, and he'll get to unlock that way.
Very true, very true. Oh, he clicked through that so fast, I couldn't see what that was. Schwantz, were you able to pick that up?
Egg.
Ooh. The bad news for Rue going up here is that he's going to get his 9th character, he's going to get a skip. But there are 0 Espers up here, so he's going to walk out of here on 55 minutes. Well, maybe 53 now that he skipped the dragon, with 5 Espers and still just 9 characters. Or excuse me, 9 characters, still just 5 Espers.
And Falcon just found another experience egg. That's what it was. Oh boy. So now Edgar is online. I wonder where these Espers are.
Well,
I'm gonna guess Mount Zozo.
After this for Falcon Hit, we're gonna see the cave on the belt. We're gonna have him peek Mobilis. He's gonna do the peekable stuff.
Very true, and I'm sure we'll see somebody check Fanatic's tower.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a Fanatic's tower check. If the cave on the belt and Mobilis aren't Espers. I forget, was the sprite for this? It's about to show up on the screen. Excuse me. Okay, he needs 1 more Esper after this, no matter what. Or at most 1 more Esper. Yeah, the downside of the Fanatic's Tower is it takes a long time to get up there. The good news about Fanatic's Tower is that it's a guaranteed Esper or character.
Yeah, and Zelfer unlocking the skip. Very
Beautiful.
Nice.
Now, if you just unlock the
Schwantz
part,
is pointing out, Fanatic's Tower, if a lot of people don't realize, is actually 3 checks because the very top chest is a check. Just
I don't think it
interesting.
is.
It's not? Are you sure?
I don't think it is. Who can we get to verify
saying it's
that?
3 checks.
Oh, Schwantz is wrong all the time. He told me the other day you couldn't run a Ultimate, and I did it the next day. He told me I
And we're
couldn't get my
finding,
Venmo password, and I figured out how to get back in.
and we find the Fanatics Tower leader, the Fanatics Tower follower, and the Fanatics Tower dragon. He said another dollar bet. Schwantz is 100% correct. Double down says 100%
So you don't get it
correct,
for
Lou.
doing the chest, you get it for killing the boss that's up there.
Dragon boss reward, yeah. Very true.
Okay, so technically you were wrong, because you said the chest.
Okay, well, you don't fight the boss until you open the chest, right? So, you run all the way up there, don't open the chest, and run all the way back down. I don't think you fight the boss, right?
No, the boss is the trigger. I mean, the chest is the trigger for the boss.
Yeah. And we're finding
That's
Phantom, and then
Esper
Kieran.
number 9 for Falcon Hit.
It was Phantom and Kieran. Now, that puts Falcon Hit again. That's 3 checks more, so it's at 18. Do you think he's gonna go Opera House Dragon, Toilet Atma, Gold Dragon, Skip, or do you think
I'll
he's
let
just
you
go
know
straight
here
in
in
the
about
tower?
5 seconds.
Yeah, he is. He's going straight. That's exactly what I would have done. That's what you would have done too, right?
Yeah, I think you do this because your offense is so good that you can do this dragon in the same amount of time it takes you to walk through Shadow's Cave on the belt check.
And you gotta love Phantom. Now we have Phantom, Fenrir, and Siren. So that means tier 2 Siren, take out Phantom, hit, save a bunch more time there. Fenrir, tier 3, good to go. This could be a really smooth final Kefka, especially with Sword Tech 8 unlocked now.
Oh yeah. Starman 609, Falcon Hit does need one more character for the skip, but he can also get the skip through doing checks, and he just needs 3 more checks. So dragons count as checks, so he's going to pop over to the Opera House, lay the smackdown on the Skull Dragon. Then he's going to go into Fanatics Tower, and he's going to load up the middle aisle. In the middle aisle, you can do the Atma that is at the toilet spot in the cell where Kefka was in the vanilla game, and then you
And that's
go a little
right
farther
at the
through.
beginning.
Yeah, it's really close right to the beginning of the start, and then not that farther down you can do another dragon and one of its little pedestals that it likes to sit up on, not too far to get to him. So you can definitely
Ooh.
do all. That's an Atma
And
weapon.
you see, you get an Atma weapon from the dragon too. That's setting up Edgar really well. It just, ooh, it worked out so beautifully there, Glue. Everybody else making great progression too. They're both sitting at 6 and 9, which is very interesting, despite their, huge divergence in routing.
Yeah, what Zelfer really needs here, he's going to get 2 Espers for finishing Doma Dream. What he really needs is to find one more Esper super fast, because he already has his skip, whereas Falcon has entering the tower to get his skip. And he's going to take down this boss, no problem. He really needs to go straight to the next Esper to have a chance to get on Falcon Hit's heels.
Yeah, and you think now he's going to go and take his revenge on Atma? Because that would give him Fenrir.
I think Zelfer already did that, Ma. That was where Boo
Did
was
he?
going
I
to
thought
now.
it was just Falcon hitting.
Zelfer was
just
the only
Falcon
one
Hit.
that didn't die to him. Everybody else died comically, unfortunately.
Oh, got you. Oh, we find here Umaro hiding inside the toilet. I think he got lost. He got mad that we didn't take him down. So he's hiding in the toilet now.
Well, he got a little lost. He had all the Muggles. He had all the townspeople, so he just started going south until he can find more things to eat and start climbing the tower.
No, at least he left one guy behind. Well, technically 3, right?
Well,
He
that's why all the doors are locked.
And now he's at 8 and 9. He's really close. Where do you think he's gonna go? You think he's just gonna peek Fanatics Tower?
I would
We're
probably
already in the
peek-
World of Ruin, right? So
Yeah, I would do the for sure thing, because the frustrating part about hunting the skip is hunting it. And so when you go, oh, I'm gonna go get one more Esper real fast. Well, sometimes real fast turns into three or four real fast things that just add up when you could in the back of your mind thinking, oh man, I could have already gotten through this.
Very interesting move, going to Mobliz. Now, personally, well, with our team comp, right, they're so strong that it doesn't really matter who Fumbaba blows away. Bismarck, there you go. He's got it. So you definitely take this fight now, and you hope that he sends you into a good fight. Now, would you even peek, or would you do the dog skip to come down here just to quickly look in the room to see if it was an item or a character? Or I mean, a character or an Esper sprite.
I would check with the little girl that tells you exactly what the reward is. Because if you see it's a character or not a character, and then you take the chance of it being
And it's a dead
an
check,
item,
then it's a huge time loss.
because you gotta sit through 2 bosses. And the time you save by just coming over here and going straight into it is what, 2 seconds? As opposed to just going into the other room.
Maybe like 15, yeah. You know, you save 15, but if it fails, then you lose 3 minutes. So spending the 15 seconds makes a lot more sense, right? And then they get an easy Narapa fight. Very nice. Just a little time loss. Is with with Narapa, you never really know if his AT bar is full or not, and sometimes you can get an attack or 2 off. If Locke could have swung that Valiant Knife. Alright, who do you think we're going to find here at the Doom spot?
I think we're gonna find number 128. But what I'm really hoping for is Magi Master at one of the 3 other spots. We want some Magi Master action. Double down. Is there a Magi Master in this spot? I assume you have done your run for this week since you are here.
Oh, he can't.
Oh, he's sending an octopus emote. That's a bad sign. We're getting some Ultroses.
And Zelfer has unlocked Final Kefka and Skip, so here we'll be going right into the tower too. He said there's not a Maggie Master.
You tease.
But he also put ... What does that mean?
I think it means I can never get a straight answer out of that guy. Alright, so we got Zelfer
well, we
going
wouldn't
in.
want him to spoil our fun, right?
Oh, I want to know. I'm rooting for it. I never not want to see it, even if it's myself. I always want to see it on myself. You only get better by going through it.
Well, Falcon hit making quick work of number 128. I think Zelfer's going to be able to do quick work of him as well with the way he organized his parties.
That is true, but you gotta get out of the menu, Zelfer. You're a little behind. Get going, my friend. I know you can't hear me, but
Yeah, when you're going against Falcon, you can't take that extra time in the menu. You just gotta go, go, go.
And chance number 2 at Magi Master coming up.
And Guardian is Doomgaze. Oh boy, did you see the levels? I totally did look.
Looks like Edgar said on the experience, like 1 fight too long, or 1 fight not enough. Depends how you want to look at it.
And we see the rips in the chat.
Yeah, Doomgaze is exciting, but throwing 9,000 damage to Rukun's isn't gonna make for a very suspenseful fight. So again,
luckily Falcon didn't equip Edgar with the Atma weapon, so he doesn't have to worry about picking Edgar back up, and he can just swing through the damage and hope that Doomgaze doesn't throw a Doom or a Arrow or Cyclonic out, and good to go.
Alright, so here's the thing. We don't want to see Magi Master at the Poltergeist spot, or else it's just going to get Shuriken to death. But we do want to see it on the right side of the Kata spot, because that will make for an interesting fight.
Alright, now Boom running into Sealed Gate, and
he'll get in that for his trouble.
No, this is Cyan, right?
Cyan.
Isn't it Cyan?
Oh no.
Yeah.
He'll get his 10th character first.
Oh, and Falcon hit.
Yeah, but it's not here. Well, that's
Oh
maybe if he can get some more
boy.
off. If he can get some more
Falcon hit.
attacks off.
What
He
a
knew-
rough KT so far. Oh my god.
Double down, knew it was coming too. Look
Beautiful.
at him. Whoops,
All right,
it's
so-
Maggie Master.
We need some more surges out of Magimaster to make this interesting. But we
I
need those
think- I think
surges.
it's gonna be
We
over
need those
relatively
surges
quickly.
now because he's running out of HP. Zelfer not having a fun time.
Bam. I mean, Strago throw 9,400 shurikens at Maggie Master. That's no joke. Nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the power of the plus strength. That's the power of finding a strength plus 2 Esper when you're level 3. You get to sit on the entire seed, and if you sit on the entire seed and you end up around level 40, that's an extra 80 strength, so you end up around the cap, and good feeling.
I wonder what Falcon's thinking right here.
I think he's thinking, what do I order for lunch? Because he's reading a menu when he doesn't have to.
Yeah, right? He's processing a lot there.
Alright, so if we can get a goddess fight here, that would still be pretty interesting.
You know what? He realized he didn't want to take the Moogle Tribe off until he went down to the final switch to avoid some crazy fight.
And Zelfer finding out some bad news himself here.
Yeah, but
Well,
this is gonna make quick work of Maggie Master though. That's done. I love
Yeah.
I love that play. He said, "What, Maggie Master?" That time save right there could help him cinch this real fast. Well, I mean, close the gap between Falcon hit.
he came into the tower essentially one battle behind, and he's still at one battle behind. If he can get out of the menus, my friend, you're good. Just swing the Valiant Knives. You'll kill him. I promise. Well,
Ooh.
maybe you'll need to take some attacks.
See, I know healing up Locke was definitely pertinent with that just few hundred HP, but I don't know if I would have full healed him. What about you? I love leaving my Valiant Knife user partially wounded going into Final Kafka.
I don't have full knowledge of his inventory, and I don't like healing him up. I'm not opposed to dropping some potions on him if I have them to get him up to like 2,000 HP.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Could always use Strago to throw something at Locke.
Well, then you're gonna kill him.
Oh yeah, very true. I mean, well, yeah,
Not with
Striker might
7,000
kill him.
HP, jeez.
Yeah, because his
Not with
noise,
his 9,000.
he's doing 9,000.
shurikens.
and he just put an Atlas armlet, so he's gonna be doing more. So you could always just kill your Locke with your Strago and then revive him.
Luckily, good old Dullahan not providing a problem here for Zelfer. Getting that nice Illuminer proc too.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more than one game we like to play. When we community restream was Clyde. And that game is not root for Magi Master at inconvenient spots. We also like to play against the opponent's final Kefka time. So since Falcon Hit is their first one into the fight, he will be our lucky contestant. What you want to do is guess how long. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sonic.
105.32, 131. I'm gonna say 6:21.
6 minutes 21 seconds. So the time starts at the church bell when you start the fight, and it ends at the crack pow when final Kefka goes down in tier 4. That is the amount of time where you're trying to gauge. You're gonna say 6:21.
6:21.
I'm gonna say 6:50.
With his insane offense, and he's already making great work. You know, taking out head with Fire 3, Shuriken, cleaving. Throwing some. I didn't see what he threw there, but that was another quad 9. Like, this is super fast.
I'm gonna say 6:50 because you gotta remember that you still gotta sit through a couple transition animations, which take about 15-ish seconds each. You still gotta sit through. It does take some time just in animation and by
I mean,
default having
very
to do
true, but we
everything.
had, what was that? A 55-second, yeah, tier 1? Like, that's huge. Way before the music. Y- It hasn't even started to amp up yet.
Bad
No,
news
he
for
actually almost
Boo.
skipped it.
Bad news for Boo. He found the Doom Gaze.
Oof, I wasn't ready for it. Oh no, Edgar got imped. Oh, that's gonna be a big time loss. Here you hope all 4 of them will usually throw an attack out, and if you're lucky, only 2 of them will, but to lose a turn right off the bat hurts. You hope they use some of their less wrench in the gear abilities, so to speak. I do like the throwing out at least one ultimate to weaken the entire group. You have to figure that's what 30,000 across the board in damage. That's a lot of damage for 8 seconds. And here we have Zelfra at 45 seconds behind. Sean said.
Not to be forgotten, Boo's gonna give his Doom Gaze fight another try here in a minute. But I think he's gonna try the left side first, which will be Dullahan.
Oh, a minute 15
Not
behind.
Dullahan. Not Dullahan.
Well, here he goes into tier 2, and tier 2 is the tier that things can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, if you don't have
Horribly wrong.
all of the pieces of the puzzle for tier 2 after turn 3, that's when things start to go south. But with Zelfer's offense, even if he doesn't have mute, I think he'll be fine, because if you can't mute magic on this tier, you want to be able to kill the other 2 parts fast, and he's going to have instant death and the ability to do over 40,000 damage pretty quickly. So I think he's fine.
Oh, very true. And the fact that he had mute, right? Because magic
All the better.
Will counterattack every time you hit him, and if he's muted, he can't counterattack. He can try to, but if you can't mute him, you could lose a minute at a time easily just by attacking magic. But he made excellent work at tier 2. How are things going over here for Zelfer? We got a frozen lock, which kind of hurts.
Not as fast.
Because there we lose the Octo Atma damage, unless they, purposely fire lock. Juan said Falcon Head had a 2-minute, 25-second tier 2, which is very good. You know, anything under 3 minutes for tier 2 is great. Broke out the Fenrir, really good. Popping off Edgar so he could swing. Throwing out another, what is that, like 23,000. So just one more attack with Edgar and we could trigger the calmness, not even a reason to use anybody else. That's a great move right there.
Nope, no reason whatsoever.
Honestly, Glue, watching all of you, that was the biggest time save I ever learned of any of the time saves. Is in Final Kefka, even on tier 1, 2, and 3, sometimes it's best to only use 2 characters to attack and use the other 2 just a wait trick, maybe throw some support out. Because at this point, their speed is so high that they can just go every time. And by the time their number 2's finished, number 1's ready to go again. And you don't even need to use 3 and 4. As Double Down's pointing down, that even applies to fights outside of KT. Here we go, Final Kefka.
What did I say? 650? So we need him to take 50 seconds here.
And Zelfer's going to tier 3. Here we go.
Good job, Zelfer.
As Boo's making his way through the tower himself. Starting out with some amazing damage. And there goes Edgar, throwing out another 23,000 about.
So, spoiler alert, I don't think Falcon hits in any trouble here.
And he ate a hyperdrive. Look at that. He just
Yeah.
ate it. Still standing, not even kneeling. He said, what, Kevka? I could eat another one. And here's the crack. At 1:11:44. Wow, what a great series of numbers. And we're about to see if we can get Falcon Hit into commentary booth here to celebrate his victory. As we slowly watch Zelfer whittle down. Oh, sadly we get that Illumina proc. You never really want that on Girl. And that was a full Whirlwind. And Locke not attacking the right targets.
That is
I
the
think
downside.
Zelfer...
That is the downside to offering. There is something to be said for targetable offense.
Now, I still think Zelfer could finish 113.40-ish if the rest of this fight goes right. But if not, he might be shooting for 114.30-ish. And here we have Falcon. Let's bring him in.
Hello, Falcon Hit. How are you? Oh man, I scared him away.
Oh no. What did you do, Glue?
He'll be back.
You gotta be nicer to our guests.
Alright, bear with us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, while Falcon Hit gets his Discord together.
And here we go with Zelfer entering the final fight. Blue entering the fight versus number 128. Making good progression through the tower. Oh, I think the Falcon Head's back. Let's see. Hello,
Welcome
hello.
on in. Welcome back.
Hello.
Good game and congratulations.
Thank you. That was that was one of the fastest catches I've ever done in my life. Why did I heal?
Six
I'm
minutes
so
and
mad.
15 seconds was Kafka time.
And Falcon Hit, I actually was the closest. I guessed 6:21.
Nice.
Very nice.
And I think even Glue was guessing what? Would you say, Glue?
I said 650.
650 would be
So-
what I don't know whether you count from like the start of tier 1 or the switches.
Start at tier 1, so whenever
Oh,
you
okay.
can start the fight,
I-
you hear like
The
a church
first bell.
Yeah,
That's the
I
first
personally
bell, right?
I personally count from the switches. So this was like a 7-minute Kefka, which is like that means you're blazing fast.
Oh yeah, you were super fast. Everything worked out really well. You had all the pieces for the puzzle. Tell us, how did you feel throughout the scene?
It felt great, except for wiping to Atma, which, like, I should know better, right? Because I don't have any... At the point where I was, I didn't have Elemental Protection. There's, like, a line where you counter-bug him so many times that he can't cast a spell. But I also didn't have Fire or Bolt Edges, or Fire Skins or Bolt Edges, so I was like... Strago's kind of useless, right? Because he's just going to absorb the Water Edge.
Mhm.
And then I was just like, I'll just come back to it later. And I did come back to it later. And I got my nice revenge.
Yes, you did. So when you were looking for that last Esper, what was your train of thought? Did you go to Dome of Dream just because you know what? I got 3 possible chances. Let me just take the longer route. But maybe the longer route is a safer route.
That, and also there's the possibility of Dream being 2 Espers, 1 character, which would have given me skip without checks. So you got to keep that open, right? Because if you get skip without checks, I know that's like what 5 minutes faster than my time. That would be like a 106. That would be like incredibly lucky. But also, I really wanted to do the 3 checks. I really didn't want it to be a character because I wanted to do the 2 dragons.
Oh yeah, you
Because
always get so powerful.
Oh, the
if you
huge
use-
bonus, right?
it was like 7 levels, and then I learned every single spell that I needed to learn.
Oh
It-
yeah,
it was-
that gave
like,
you a
incredible. And-
huge boost.
For my experienced characters, it was like what 13 levels or something ridiculous
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Your
I mean,
middle
Edgar
party
was
was level
52?
53 and 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so I was
crazy.
like, I was hoping it was a character, but I was also not hoping it was a character, right? That
Now-
middle path was insane.
Now,
It was
one thing-
Doomgaze into Magimaster. I've
one
never
thing I
seen-
wanted to...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I've never seen a pair of bosses get eaten up so much by a throw character.
Yeah, I mean, that Strago damage was insane. Like, 9,500 shurikens with Strago is very impressive.
That's what
Um,
happens when you have +2 strength at level 3, right?
Oh, yeah. But right off the bat, oof, that was beautiful. Now, when you were going through Figaro Basement and you found that experience egg, like, did you have any worries that maybe somebody went down to Edgar's early?
A little bit, but I think the start, like, don't get me wrong, Experience Egg is great, right? But I think with the start that I had, I wouldn't have lost much time to the Experience Egg. I would have lost
Very
it, like,
true.
later, but, like, early game, it doesn't really kick in, right? Until about 40 minutes.
Until maybe until you can actually start steamrolling bosses, right? Because
Yeah.
early on, it's gonna only help you a little bit. You know, now I only have to do one grind fight instead of 3, right? You know, and then
Exactly.
easily.
So
But
I
later-
was a little bit concerned, but also who does Edgar's check, right? I know I did
Well,
Edgar's check after
I
after
do.
Realms.
Well, Boo had actually found the experience egg probably 10 minutes before you, but he also found
Really?
10 characters, so you can see how that's going for him as you look on your screen, and he's still playing.
Oof, you really. That's just how the rando sometimes.
It's very true. It's how the randos. You know, but I think, you know, the experience eggs definitely helped out a lot, especially pretty close to each other before a bunch of the boss fights. So, and especially the dragons. That was a very amazing find.
Oh yeah, for sure. Experience Egg is always like. I remember trading trading a medicine for an Experience Egg in Dark's Weapon Shop, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. Give me the egg. It turned out to be not a very good choice because it was like it was the type of seed where you're on 8 espers and you're looking for 1 esper for 15 minutes. So you're just like thinking back, you're like, I probably could have taken the esper.
Now, the last question that I have for you is the fixed dice offering choice at the very beginning of the seed. What were your thoughts there when you first looked at him? I think you hesitated for a second.
Yeah, it's just a decision between a late game and early game. I picked early game because even though I had throw and magic attack, I was like, this like solves a lot of problems, right? If I run into an early magic master, I could be like, oh, I can use fixed dice throw.
Very true.
And yeah, if I run into like try touch, I can use the fixed dice there.
Yeah.
But
It was a good call.
yeah, I mean, I didn't end up using it, but it's just one of those things you have to think about, right? You don't want to just like get walled and then just be like, oh, guess I have to reset.
Yeah, and then it's not too much of a pain either because, it's just an offering. And if you find Terra later in the seed, you could always go grab it.
Exactly. I did find Katana Soul, so I got my
Yeah.
offering that way. But
You had the potential to get 2 offerings that way, and then that could just be insane too.
true. Oh, now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have done the dragons, right? Because it was more efficient to do terrace check because it's 2 checks. If I did like Well Cave,
Yeah.
if I did like
Oh, true.
Offer Dragon Well Cave, that's probably that's almost certainly faster than doing like Middle Path, right?
Yeah,
It's less
I didn't even
experience.
think about that.
It's less experience, but it's what?
but
2
but
minutes
then
faster?
you get the other offering. So then Edgar has offering Atma, and Locke has Octo VK offering, right?
Wait,
So-
Octo VK.
Well, he
Hold the
didn't go
phone.
to the muscle.
Oh,
which
only
Zelfur did.
Zelfur had that, right?
Hold the
Yes.
phone. Octo VK.
Boo has the Valiant Knives too.
Oh,
What
Boo
the
has
heck?
it too. Yeah, they were
Zelfur,
in,
would
where
you
was
like
it?
to elaborate?
World of Balance Tomasa?
Oh yeah, World of Balance Tomasa had Valiant Knives and a whole bunch of goodies. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, Zephyr.
Thank you, much appreciated.
I was about to
GG for
ask
Falcon
Falcon
Hit.
Hit. I was about to ask
Gee.
Falcon Hit if he would mind if we brought you in, and then go with it. How are you feeling,
double
Zephyr?
interview.
I'm feeling good. That was a lot of fun. I was worried for a good portion of it, but it was a lot of fun.
I love the excitement in your voice, and we loved watching you guys run through this seed. It was amazing. How are you feeling all throughout it? Like, give us your thoughts.
Oh man, there's a lot that happened. There's a kind of a whirlwind. Early game I felt fine because like we got the 6 characters early, and I'm like, all right, I just need to find espers, and this will be fine. We have a bunch of checks. We got the 6 characters. Everything's gonna be fine. And about every minute that ticked after that, I didn't find espers. But found everything else, it slowly became, alright, well, we're gonna find them eventually, to, oh god, I wonder where everybody else went, to, alright, well, now I'm just gonna be overpowered, so we're just gonna have fun and destroy everything, and eventually I will find espers, maybe.
Right? I mean, if you're looking at the stream right now, you can see how everybody was in the similar boat.
Yeah, there we go. Like, we all found all the characters. Yep, this makes sense. Yeah. I'm sitting there like, I think I picked the quickest checks. Like, I think people are going to pick the same thing as me. I guess we'll find out later.
Oh, man.
I laughed a lot when I checked Nourish Weapon Shop and saw Fixed Dice and Offering. I was like, wow. That's really funny.
It's great to see that, right? Especially when you have a lock and you just know that they're definitely going to be used by somebody.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I was like, we'll pick the Fixed Dice. Maybe somebody can use it. We'll throw it over there. It'll be fine. And I don't think I used it once. I think I sold it for money because I wanted Valiant Knives and everything else.
Oh, yeah. And see, Falcon Head did not find those. Very, very upset.
I mean, when you have throw experience, like, do you really need anything else?
You don't need it, but it's always fun to have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Octo VKing Final Kefka when he fallen once is just one of the best feelings, especially if you have quick. Just one attack. That's just one person goes, fight's over.
That's it. It was great. Actually, I only found one Genji glove, and since I couldn't find espers, instead I found Illuminas, so Terra was fine with 2 Illuminas instead.
Yeah, I think there was a Genji glove in a chest somewhere, and then one of the dragons dropped a Genji glove as well.
Oh, there were 2 Genji gloves. I might have sold one because I was like, I'm never gonna use this. It'll be fine. I want the money. And then I really wish I had both Genji gloves, but oh well.
I did the same thing with a Minerva.
And we have a sad state of affairs over there.
Oh no.
Kefka took down Boo. Very sad. Boo's joining us in the chat.
Hello.
Hey Boo, how you doing, man?
Hey,
how
Boo.
you feeling it?
Oh, you know. It was a thing.
Yeah, so
Feel very bad about that Final Kefka.
You had a real rough go over there on the tier 2, where you got frozen for a while, and then not everybody made it out of there. That's just unfortunate. Sometimes that happens. Where else throughout the rest of the seed do you feel like things also took an unfortunate turn for you?
The entire seed, all of it, literally all of it. Does that cover it? I mean,
Just about.
I think I hit 22 checks before I even got requirements. I got skipped twice. I hit I don't know 4 or 5 dead checks. Got 10 characters, and then got doom gazed. Kefka's tower sucked. The fight sucked, and then Kefka himself sucked. So it's pretty much just suck all the way through. Other than that, it was pretty fun though.
It did give you an interesting dilemma there to start with the fixed dice or the offering.
I'm never picking fixed dice ever, so it was never a decision. Got to practice what you preach.
All right. Well, thank you for running, Boo. We appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you going through that frustration for our and the viewers' amusement.
Yeah, you know.
What do you think you gotta do? Because that's a forfeit for you tonight. You're sitting at 2 points. What do you think you gotta do to move up the rest of the standings, the rest of the season? What do you think you gotta change up?
Well, I'm never going to change my luck, so I can't do anything about that. So I could stop looting as much. I feel like that's not what slowed me down here. The fights were slow. I did make some bonehead decisions. It was not going to be a perfect seed, even with good luck and like finding the right checks and espers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Good question. I'll have to figure that out. I guess I'm just going to try to think about what I'm doing more in those boss fights. I made a couple of stupid, like why am I hitting things with an offering and wing edge when they're undead? And I should have passed around the Fire 3 Esper. I could have learned Ultima right there at the end on my second go through Kefka's Tower if I had remembered to equip it. Stuff like that. Just got to clean up the stupid stuff, and then get a lot better luck.
It's nothing a little too drastic. Maybe a little refocusing.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm still. I guess you could say I'm shaking rust off. I haven't played much lately, but I don't. It's not really an excuse. Certainly not where I once was.
Have you considered sending Falcon Hit and Zelfers some malicious files and bricking in their computers so they can't compete anymore?
I think everybody's considered it.
We do have a question from Double Down for you. Double Man wants to know, demands to know, what is your perfect Sunday, Boo?
Perfect Sunday. I feel like there's a referential answer I could give here that'd be funnier. But right now, no worlds collide, lots of food, maybe a beer, and then sleep.
What would be your preferred food?
Oh, good lord. Let's say Christmas goose and foie gras. I don't know, man.
Okay, all right. Something off the wall. Surprise you. Now, one thing that I definitely have an issue with when I come across a seed like this, Boo, is I do the same thing. Like I get all in my head about like, oh, that fight. I start making mistakes on the next fight. And even if I hit a bunch of dead checks, I think that the seed's over, and then I surprise myself with like a really quick time still, and then beat myself up later because like if I had just kept my cool, it wouldn't have made a difference. What my time could have been if I hadn't made X amount of mistakes after that, just one bad RNG, right? Because that's the thing with a randomizer, you're always subject to RNGs. Sometimes he's on your side, and sometimes he's, in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's fun to make some jokes, but you're at Final Tefka at a tier 2 at 120, or excuse me, at tier 4 at 123 when you had everything, and the grandmother go wrong for you. And when you look across the board at some of the times in the division below you where people aren't even averaging that, I think it's important to remember that you're not that far off as you may make yourself out sound to be. So a little refocusing, as you said, and I think you'll be right back in it.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not worried about it.
All right, Schwantz, you got anything else for our three fabulous runners for tonight?
No, thank you guys for organizing together and appreciate it. Putting yourselves out here for the enjoyment of us. We love to see, Doomgaze, Magimaster, and Kefka's Tower. That's the stuff that everybody dreams about, right? So
That middle path was
Dreams.
the worst. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I had Shrek on that path. Otherwise I would have been boned.
Miserable, right? Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys so much, and good luck the rest of the Ultra Sleek season. That's basically all I got.
Thank you.
And just remember, we're nothing without you guys. Thanks for coming and volunteering to be on the stream. It means a lot.
Yes, much appreciated always. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you organizing it.
Thank you very much.
Glue, you have anything else to say to everybody before we go?
Yes, I'm going to plug the Discord if I can remember the command. Give me one chance. I get one chance at this every week. Did I get it right? Final Fantasy 6 Weekly? Nope, that is not. Oh,
Oh.
yes, that was it. Beautiful. Ladies and
You
gentlemen,
did
if
it.
you have any interest in joining our community tonight, we are throwing out the link to the Discord in the chat. If you're not familiar with Discord is, that's a different discussion, but we also have a website, FinalFantasy6WorldsCollide.com. If you join our Discord, or if you want to read through our guides, we have everything you need to get you up and running if you'd like to play Worlds Collide. But if you'd like to just meet some great people in general, hop on in. We'd love to have you. We'd love to meet you. That is how Falcon had joined us. He came across World Collide on SpeedGaming one night. And the rest is history, as he has rewritten some history books, if you will. So again, we'd love to meet you.
Hey, thanks so much, Silverthorn. I hope you have a wonderful night. And everybody, please come join us, like Glue said. Come draft with us. Come, participate in the next tournament after Ultros League. You'd be a great addition to the community. We're a lot of friendly and loving people here.
Yeah, I should have asked Boo while we're here if there is any leakable information about the next event, because right now we have our Ultras going on, which is what you saw tonight. That will be over sometime next month. Well, it will be over 5 weeks from now, if you will, and we will have another event after that. So if you're a part of our community, be on the lookout for that. There may be some teaser information. I think a good idea for event would be we all just fight against Falcon Hit, so you can take him down. I think the 100 plus of us would have a chance. One of us would be able to pull it out, but I don't know. We'll see. But
Free for
so
all.
I'll run that past Booba next time I see him.
Well, Glue, thanks for being here. And Schwantz, thanks for all your hard work in the background and helping us keep track of everything during the chaos.
Yeah, of course, no
thank you for
problem. Thank you
SpeedGaming.
guys. Yeah, thanks for volunteering. As always, thanks for SpeedGaming for having us. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now that it's not Eastern Daylight Time, it's dark when I drive home from work, which is always fun. But yeah, thank you guys for doing comms. Thank you to the runners for running, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Peace out. See ya.